The new Guardian of the Galaxy game by Square Enix has, dare I say, a weird reputation, where it seems everybody want to hate it. By everybody I mean a lot of YouTubers I watch, when it was literally just announced. I mean, don't get me wrong, after the Avengers disaster, I think everyone would approach this new game with caution to say the least, especially as it's another Square Enix game. I mean, we never know if a game is going to be any good before even playing it. That's why I almost never pre-order my game, and no one wants to pay for another Square Enix Marvel game that released in the state that Avenger did. But at the same time, people seem to hate the game a little too much for my taste. Sure, I won't be buying it day one just yet. Maybe I won't even buy it at the end of the day. I mean, like I said, for now, there is only one trailer for the game, but still, does the game deserve that amount of hate? Was it that bad of a reveal? Does it really look like another Avenger? From what we know from the game, and it's not much, we already can see that this game will have little in common with the Avenger one. I mean, structure-wise. First of all, it's not even made by the same people, but nonetheless, people seem to associate this game as made by the same people as Avenger, as both companies making it are owned by Square Enix, which isn't true as Avenger was made by Crystal Dynamics, the team behind the Tomb Raider franchise, when Guardian of the Galaxy is made by Eidos Montreal, the team behind the new Deus Ex game, and only the last Tomb Raider game, as during that time, Crystal Dynamics was making Avengers, which, like you can now see, are two completely different studios. So even if they are both made by Square Enix, our Marvel game and look graphically kinda similar, maybe because they use the same engine or something, they don't have the same people working on it behind the scene. It's like with Naughty Dog and Sucker Punch, two different companies that are both owned by Sony. That doesn't mean that The Last of Us is made by Sucker Punch. The game is also said to be a single player adventure with RPG element and choice that influence the story, not unlike those Deus Ex games that I talked about, so maybe expect something similar as they are made by the same company. This format greatly differ from the live service one in Avengers, making the story and the interaction with the other Guardian the focus, something the team at Eidos Montreal seem like they want to achieve with the help of a comic writer who was behind some of the Guardian book and the Annihilation Marvel event, which also kinda revolve around them. And if they want to focus on the story, it seemed like a good thing to me, as a comic writer could help them making it a reality by making the character feel like their comic counterpart. Also, even though we don't know exactly how much your interaction with the Guardian are going to affect the overall game, we can already see from the trailer that the interaction seem to work in a telltale fashion, with the "Rocket is going to remember that" written when you don't take his side. And in this manner, I think that if well done, this could become the equivalent of Marvel Mass Effect series, which would be really cool if it did. And knowing this, I have no problem playing only with Star-Lord, as maybe some Guardian could even quit the team if you treat them like trash for too long, you know? Kinda like the Telltale game on the Guardian where they can hate you at some point, which I personally like playing. Or even where you can recruit even more members in your team, like Mantis, she was in the trailer, or comic character like Nova, and choose your party member before going on mission, which I'm all in for, as managing a team as cool as the Guardian and visiting planets from every corner of the Marvel universe would be really cool to say the least. Also, the DLC in the Guardian game seem like it's going to be all cosmetic, so if you're like me and find some of the design kinda meh, I'm sure a skin can fix it. And if the selection is anything like in Spider-Man, the game is going to be better for it. I just hope they are not all DLC, as unlocking skin in the game is always fun. At least they said they are going to be free, even if I'm sure the pre-order skin are going to cost money down the line. So yeah, at first glance, a Guardian game written by a comic writer known for his Guardian book, that is the single player story driven with player choice and RPG element game that any Guardian fan would want. and they seem to be focusing on what people want this time, I mean no season pass. But then, why the hate? Why does it look too good to be true on paper? Well, first of all, a lot of people doesn't like the joke shown in the trailer.
Gardeners of the Galaxy?
What? No, Rocket. So I let Groot fill out the paperwork.
Which are a huge part of the team appeal. It's like having a Deadpool game with a non-funny Deadpool, which I can't really comment on for you, as humor is a really subjective thing. So maybe you found it funny, maybe not, and even then maybe the context around those jokes made them funnier, so we never know if the jokes are that annoying, which a lot of people seem to think they were, as the Guardians seem to talk a lot in battle. And if you didn't find what they had to say funny, yeah, it could be kind of annoying. Imagining they won't shut up could damage the game, as no one wants a game that annoyed the hell out of them. The story will probably at least be good, as I read the annihilation art from the comic and thought it was pretty good. Not my favorite comic ever, but at least it was good. And wrote some of the Alien Isolation game, which everyone liked except IGN for some reason, so that part I am confident will be good. But then, if a writer known for writing The Guardian is writing this game about the very same Guardian, the joke that I talked about before are going to land in the final game, right? Well, I honestly don't know, as yes, he has written great story about them, or so I heard, but in comic format, which is very different than video game. Plus he wrote story from before the movie came out, and back then, yes, the Guardian were a misfit family, but the comedy in the book got actually turned off from the fact that the movie wrote them funnier than they were in the book before them. So we know the writer knows how to write the serious part, but we still don't know if he can give the movie funnier energy to the game that the movie has and seem to be in the game, from the trailer at least. Now for the most important part of almost every game, the gameplay. I mean, from what I saw, people seem to hate it. I mean, I must agree, even though it's really cool to command your ally in combat like in Mass Effect. The actual gunplay looked kinda bland, as there seemed to be no strategy for it, like shoot until the thing dies and sometimes use your ally or some special ability, which in a 15 hours game and more can feel a little boring after a while, and I think that will be like the duration of the game, at least that's my guess. And it didn't help that the enemy they choose for the trailer was a square, like you're in space and you can create any enemy design you want and you choose a fucking cube. But maybe it's the type of game that is more fun to play than to watch, and with the game being an RPG, I am sure you could unlock new skill and ability to spice things up. I just hope the main thing you will be doing won't end up being boring, so they need to at least make it satisfying to play. But time will tell. But still, Space Cube.
You serious?
Really. At the end of the day, it's maybe the Marvel fanboy in me, but I can't just write the game off just yet. It's no insta-buy for sure. I mean, it could suck, but it still could be really good, especially if the game is more like Spider-Man and less like Avenger. At the end of the day, it's your money and you buy whatever you want with it. So after all of this, what do you think? Is the new Guardian game an insta-buy for you? Does it deserve the hate? Or are you in the middle like me? Well, you can tell me in the comment section below. So don't forget to leave a like and to subscribe if you liked the video and want more video like those. Thanks for watching, guys.